Up, Speaking Up, and Showing Up. As many of you know, this is our post-Emmys pre-Oscars event. Wow. And we had the most incredible group of women come to join and represent. Like everyone that was in this book, everyone that's ever spoke on this stage, everyone who's ever attended was represented by these incredible people. And I'm going to ask them a couple of questions. So you're going to have to kind of wave. I don't know if they're going to put us together or you're going to have to just kind of wave when I call your name. But we've got Miss Kathleen Carlson, Dr. Lisa Tan, Stephanie Seek, Kathy Holt, Joanne Callahan, and Beth Elsfelder. They represented the 262 at the Celebrity Hand Gifting Ceremony in September. And we had an incredible response. There was women grabbing this book and they were holding it to their chest and they're like, please, can we have pictures? And, you know, someone talking to Kathy about this needs to be a documentary. And they were like, can I have a book for my sister and my brother? And men coming over and going, my mom needs this, my aunt needs this. And as you know, it's a collective of 262 rock star women leaving legacy of words on paper. And, you know, when you get asked to do something like that, it's really interesting, right? Everyone's like, oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. But there's a mindset that might have happened for all these women. And I wanted them to talk about it because we talk on standing up, speaking up, and showing up. And that's not easy. It's not easy. There was a woman who shared yesterday who the night before, and she was talking for about 4 or 5 minutes. And the night before, I was on the phone with her, talking her off the ledge, right? It's not easy to go forward. It's not easy to be transparent. It's not easy to get on a plane and go across the country and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. So I wanted to ask, and maybe I'll just kind of, in the way that I just, you know, said your name's going to, Kathleen, I'm going to start with you. We only have a few minutes each, but if you could encapsulate and share your experience on what did you have to overcome to say yes to doing that? And what was your biggest takeaway from the experience? So Kathleen, I'll start with you.
Thanks, Deb, and everybody else that's here this morning. For me, I think it's almost the same thing that it is for anything that I have to endeavor on. Just kind of getting to the point where you realize it's not about you. You know, as women, we take it all on. Oh my gosh, what about this? What about that? And now we're going somewhere, we're going to meet celebrities, right? And present ourselves in front of them. And so, like, I think that initial, oh my gosh, who will I see? You know, how I measure, you're not going to measure up. You know, you're just not. And the fact is, you don't need to measure up. So that's kind of what it like really came to me pretty fast. And it was like, it's about the movement. And I think we all approached it that way. And that's exactly what it became. Very quickly, everybody that walked up became our friends. And it was like, hey, you need to be in here because this book is full of powerful women and you should be one of them. And immediately it was like, what's your story? So for me, whether that's deflection or whatever, but it was really true interest. I wanted to know what was their journey. And that's what I think the whole movement is. It's like sharing our journey, figuring out, you know, what it took for all of us to get where we are and what it will take to go forward and turn the tables and make it about the people you're serving. And that made it fun and interesting. And I think we got an amazing response from the people that came through.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, we know we've made impact. I think we're up hitting somewhere around 6,000 women that have come to these summits, and we're well over 200 million media impressions. So someone's listening and we're so happy for that. Dr. Lisa Tan, how about you? What was it like for you to step up and what was that experience? And what was your takeaway?
What Kathleen said struck me because so interestingly, yesterday I was thinking about getting a tattoo that says, "It ain't about me." And I didn't actually get a tattoo. However, I got AI to make a tattoo on my arm for me. And I'll post that picture in Facebook group so you can all see my "It Ain't About Me" tattoo. And I would say that was also what I had to let go. All the things that I was telling myself that kept me on the sidelines. And this concept that came up while as we were signing the book was the concept of having a seat at the table. And I realized it wasn't just about us that were physically there at the lobby of the Marriott signing books. It was about all the sisters now having a seat at this table that runs from Canada to Kenya. Like we were representing everyone. So whether we're on this virtual summit together today or you meet another sister at a book launch, we're all having a seat at this table. And that was really what helped me lean into the experience. My biggest takeaway was this, well, what I called the Emmy's energy. And to make it tangible for you, I'm going to give you a little challenge. The next time you walk into a room, let your bosom enter the room 5 minutes before you do, and let your derriere leave the room 5 minutes after you. And that is the Emmy's energy that you can project wherever you are. It doesn't even matter. You can have your own red carpet moment by doing that.
All right. Okay, I want reports on that. Stephanie.
I'm going to go very practical for a moment because a lot of us are maybe newer entrepreneurs. And one of the mindset limitations I had to get over was actually the financial investment. You know, when you're a year, 2, 3 years into your entrepreneurial journey, I quit a high-paying corporate leadership job to start my own business. And when Deb came to me and first of all said, "Do you want to be in the book?" And then magically 6 months later, "Do you want to represent the book at the Emmys?" I had to think about, you know, money and investing in yourself and investing in the people around you is simply energy. Money is energy. We need to release it so that it can come back to us, right? So that was one of my learnings. And then I also, my big takeaway was that truly anything is possible for your life. I'm living a new chapter in my life. And had you told me 4 years ago when I was slogging away as a VP running myriad calls every day, going to bed absolutely exhausted, that I would have my own company, be in a book, be an international speaker, and be at the Emmys, I would have looked at you like, what? How is that even possible? And so what this experience really brought home for me is that, especially with the community of women, entrepreneurs lifting you up, that anything is possible.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Miss Kathy Holt.
Good morning, everybody. It's morning, I think, for pretty much everybody on the call, but if not, good afternoon and good evening. Yes, for me, I will echo some of what Stephanie said, is that the opportunity was obviously one of those of a lifetime, and at least for me. But I really had to concentrate and focus on investing in me, because I have spent so many years, decades, you know, investing in others, taking care of others, being present for others. And now I'm on my journey of really taking care of me, because I have so much I want to do and so much I think I can share and, you know, pay forward to other women. And so that was part of it. My personality is I'm not a big risk taker when it comes to physical things, but when it comes to emotional things or, you know, opportunities that present themselves, it's like, sure, okay. And then I think, oh my God, how am I going to make this happen? But somehow it happens. That energy, like Stephanie said, it's there and it comes back. My biggest takeaway, I think, was that the positive response we got from everyone there. I mean, celebrities are people. And to hear, as Kathleen said, when we said, "What's your story?" because we wanted to know what's happening in their lives so that we could understand and, you know, empathize or be compassionate about, because it's a very brutal world in LA and in Hollywood. So the stories they shared were just so powerful. And I did, like Kathleen, I said so many times to people, your story needs to be in this book because it will help other women and it will give them pathways or skills or just information for them to move forward also. But the energy was so positive. People just kept coming back to our table. I mean, they'd go away, they'd go see something else, and then they'd come back and they'd say to us, "Oh, we love your energy here. We just love being with you. We love talking with you," because we were one of the things I always say is collaboration over competition, which is a big message for LA, because there it's competition and collaboration is harder to find. So that kind of energy of we are collaborating with each other, we are giving each other our energy, we are getting energy from each other. To me, that was the biggest takeaway. And it really filled my soul and made me realize how many more women are out there that need to join us.
Wow, thank you so much, Kathy, and thank you for being in New York for us today. Thank you. And Beth. Oh, honey, we can't hear you. I don't know why you're muted.
There. Can you hear me now? Good morning, everyone. And, I'm going to be truly honest. When Deb first asked me, I've always been my whole life, I've been used to being invisible because it's more comfortable. I work behind the scenes. I do things, on my own. And, I've always had these lifetime companions of not being enough, whether it's skinny enough, good enough, smart enough. I've been dealing with those my whole life, and, the self-doubt. And so that came up again for more healing and just doing the inner work to overcome these feelings, to push through the self-doubt. And it took a lot of self-reflection and an inner shift on a deep level. And that's what allowed me to embrace this amazing opportunity. My biggest takeaway was witnessing the magic that happens when we come together, when we lift each other up, when we collaborate with open hearts and open minds and work together towards a shared passion and purpose. And when we're living in alignment with our true selves. The energy at the Emmys, our table was electrifying. The warmth, the welcoming atmosphere. Many people came back multiple times and brought other people to the table and said, "You need to meet these women. You need to hear about this book and this movement." So it was just really amazing to witness the level of just magic. I mean, there's no other word for it. It was magical. And I loved getting to know all of these women more fully. You are my sisters, and I love you.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And it was very magical. It was very magical. And to see women that have been sharing lives and story and transparency on stage or on Zoom, meet in person, was incredible. For me, I was like, okay, she arrived safe, she arrived safe, making sure everyone got there. And then what happened from then on was hands off. And I have to say, I agree with you. The moment when we were sitting there was 200 books and all of us were signing, and it took hours. And we were moving around the table. It was one of the most magical, seamless, almost, I would say, it was gorgeous to be on a red carpet. It was gorgeous to meet everyone we met. But I have to say that was absolutely one of my favorite moments. Thank you so much. And Miss Joanne Callahan, who flew all the way in from Ireland, which was so lovely. What about yourself? What was it for you? What was it like for you? What was your mindset? And what was your takeaway? Other than this woman was actually at the Ask Party. If you don't know that we do an Ask Party, you're all welcome. We've opened it up to women that are not even part of the 262 because it's the end of the year, where you get to come and ask for anything that you want. This is my name, this is where I am, and this is where I ask. And I was laughing, I'm sorry. So Joanne shows up and she's like, okay, I need to ask for help because my calendar is so busy. Like, she flew back from Ireland And everyone in Ireland must have seen her on social media. And this woman couldn't walk in a room without being pulled aside. So her calendar is bursting. And I wasn't laughing. I was so happy on the inside that she needed to come to the Ask Party. And about how can I handle this success? Anyways, that was my takeaway for you. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but so how was it like for you, my Irish friend? All right.
Oh my God. Oh, it's so wonderful to be back in the room, even though it's virtual, but like the energy is the same. It's just, oh my God, it's amazing. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, when you asked me, Deb, it was like, oh my God. And it like straight away in my head, you know, that inner dialogue, who am I to go to the Emmys? And only famous people go to the Emmys and all this kind of crack, you know. And but my heart was really aligned to it. And what I got was, it was like a pull in that direction and that it was very possible. And when I started focusing on and actually seeing myself there, you know, and I got really excited about it. And then I started looking at, okay, how can I make this possible? And I started focusing on that. And I just had this faith, like an overwhelming, powerful faith that it was going to be possible. And to make a long story short, everything just lined up. It was like little mini miracles all over the place. And what I learned as well was that I had to ask to put things in place. So I had to ask my husband this, I had to ask my mother this, I had to ask kind of favors, just put things in place. And it all happened. And next of all, I'm on the plane and it's like, wow, that was easy. And then when I arrived and I was sharing the room with Lisa, so like, you know, I got to meet everybody in person and I was just alive the whole time, even though it was like, what was it, 11 hours flight over. And I don't know what the time difference was. And even when I flew back, it was only a few days I was there, but I had no jet lag, like, because I was just so alive and so excited. And, you know, we're always told to be reasonable. You know, you've heard that saying, just be reasonable. But sometimes you have to be unreasonable to make things happen, right? And I think that my biggest takeaway was we are very powerful women, right? And this didn't happen by accident. And I think that we have a role to play in the world to stand up and show up and to be a stand for other women. And even though, Deb, you were saying, you know, it's not easy, but it's in that being uncomfortable is where the aliveness is. And we get to be ourselves. And I really got to be myself. And even amongst all the celebrities and all the rest, I felt like me and I felt so powerful. And when you shine, that's when you attract people. So I'll leave it at that. But I am so glad I said yes.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations, ladies. I am just so proud of you and so happy for you. And it was such a pleasure to be there and observe all as we were having we were all having our own experiences, but all our experiences were lining up together. And of course, Ocean was there, well, you know, representing the book and the cover of the book. And so I got to double dip. I got to, it's like when you open up a, cracker from the Chinese food restaurant and you get 2 fortunes. So I got to be with my son on his table and we were sending people your way. They're like, why do you have a woman's book on a streetwear? We're like, well, let me tell you. Right. And so, just matching people up to the right people. And we just had a glorious time and it's beautiful. And we will repeat that performance when we go to the Oscars. But I just want to let everyone know that you are well represented and are always well represented. And your words are important and your stage presence is important. And even if you're at that stage where you're just at the I want to stage, like I'd love to be able to speak one day, we're not going anywhere. We're here when you're ready. So thank you again, ladies. It was so wonderful. And Stephanie, now back to co-host. Let's do some rah-rah. And if you could put your information in the chat, because you all do incredible things. You weren't just representing 262, but you brought yourselves and what you do, and you all do very powerful things. So put your information in the chat. And Stephanie, now back to co-host. I'm going to pass it over to you.
All right. Oh, so good to see my sisters. I miss you all. Miss hugging you. All right. So I just wanted to show you an example of a page in this book. This is my page. It's 2 pages.
Hey.
And it was so exciting to get this, right? It was exciting to write it. It was exciting to receive it delivered to my front door. And it's been exciting to gift it to other people. It's a beautiful book. And we just want to encourage you today that you can still be in this book. And if you're feeling a calling, if you're like, oh, I think I want to be a part of that, we have this next milestone of the Academy Awards, and we'll be back hand gifting this book to over 200 celebrities and media. It makes for a great calling card. If you have clients, you can gift this to them. And so even if you're a little bit worried about what would I write, we can give you some guidance on that. You can be as simple as a quote and a beautiful picture, or you can tell a little bit more about your life story and your business. So if you're feeling the calling, message Deb or put book even in the chat, put the book with your email address. You can get in touch with me, Stephanie Seek Author. I will post my Gmail address, and we would love to help you be in this book because we will be going to a second edition. And currently we have 40 placeholders in this book of historical women, of women who have paved the path for us. And we will be gradually putting your stories in. They are a placeholder for you. So we'd love to have you be part of the book in this next journey of our 2025 launch. Deb, back.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to get the book, we had a big party about that yesterday. Then look at this. We have a matching journal to the book. Woo, thank you, Dorothea. Thank you, Dorothea. But if you'd like to purchase the book or the Kindle, or there's the soft cover, there's all the things. When we launched, we were pretty dedicated. We launched with the hardcover book, and that was it. That was all. And that was important to us. But you can get all copies, and then just let us know. I had some texts last night of women that purchased the book, and then we're going to send you the matching journal because you're going to need this when you're reading this. Honestly, this is the best diary if you want to meet some super cool women. Like if you want to meet some cool women, and then you're going to take notes on that. But that's our gift to you.